like 30 in game. It's ridiculous. Should be coming back up in a sec.
Oh. I'll just not send my camera in case it helps at all. And if you need it, I can activate it out of game. Nitro got a bit brave there, jumping over the wall. Or did he get... I'm not sure what happened then, if it was actually him thinking he could get out with the wall down in time or... They're doing a decent amount of damage with the Tri-Glove Protector. Blue team got a lot of value out of that. Destroyed mid, moved up top, got a tower down, and everything else is looking rather loose. Tyke is in a bit of trouble, but manages to back right off.
Sorry, I'm just trying to work out where my bottleneck is at the moment.
Okay.
Fix
Nice
some of my
feeling
RAM
coming
die.
out from the Andromeda. It's a pretty hectic game. Stream is missing out. We have a 1v1.
Sorry for the stop and start, guys.
Playing with the escalators down bottom lane. Wall's in trouble. He's excellent. He was using the escalators. No. What are these damn things called?
Conveyor belts.
That's the word. To escape
That is the word. Yeah.
Sort of got caught up in it as well, so they just had to sort of stay around and keep going until one of them died.
They're coming hard on Ryan here. 3 on 2. Looks like they're gonna get him. Just Tyke is getting a nade off as Ryan's trying to get through that gate. Nitro's going hard on them. There's 2 quite low here. BFG might drop. It's a 1-for-1 trade. But red team is going to hit level 10 here, getting their ultimates, and they're going to have that talent parity coming up into this next objective fight.
Nitro definitely knows when he can engage. I mean, Tyrell has no mana, no health left, and there's not much Stukov and Tychus can do to repel him, so he went for it, and very nice pick off there. He managed to trade so far. Each time Red gets a kill, Maiev manages to get someone on the back foot.
I will show you a monster.
Mia with the rope tie on Leeming, very nice.
Control the terminal and bring in the protector.
Let's focus. The game is taking full. Health. And blue team Diablo's right back up. He did have his souls, but he'll be back in just a moment to help them out, and hopefully they can cap this before Red Team gets the Triglove. Looks like they will just be letting this go, not contesting. Instead opting to try and get that level 30. 30? Jeez, that would be incredible. Level 13.
My mic wasn't coming through.
No, okay. I was just talking my
Just
mouth
all
off.
of the issues. No, I could hear you. I'm like, can you not hear me or something?
Oh, I was talking over you probably. And you're like, so rude, Atra.
No, I realised. I've gone full screen and it seems to be a bit better. Not the best. Ryan copying a heap of damage from the protector there. Junkrat getting the pick on him. Looks like they're going to take this top fort and potentially a 2-level lead.
They did try to make up for the levels in mid, but unfortunately Red Team's just been too aggressive. They forced Blue Team to group up, but Maiev is sticking to the Nazebo, looking for a pick. Fukel knows better. He's backing off.
Four kills to 8. 11 minutes into this game. Ultimatum take a fair chunk of damage here from the Protector. It does go down. Nitro coming through that back line, but just being Maiev manages to get away. Got Stim coming through on Maiev. Li Ming securing that kill on Tyrael. Nitro going hard, but unfortunately doesn't catch anyone in his ult. He's looking very low here though. Of course, when he jumps up, the poison isn't eliminated from him. He will still take it when he comes.
Low. Ryan managing to keep Willow back up. I thought he was going to drop to the poison there. He soaked so much damage. He was just copying everything. Toads and Tychus powering into him, and he honestly, I thought he was dead.
Oh, Nitro could be in trouble here as he used his jump, and he was caught by those zombies from Fukel. And Stukov does manage to get that pick there. Junkrat against 3 up top though. He does manage to get away with a mine. They don't seem too interested in getting the pick on him. Red team have picked up the level 16s now, so they're going to push for a fight here, I imagine. Try and use that talent advantage and potentially get this middle fort after picking off that that medic.
That was a very nice pick. Great zombie wall from Fukel.
Wool is in trouble. That Riptide coming around behind, cutting off his escape.
Junkrat nearly would have spotted him out there, but he might be able to secure the siege and make a little bit of difference in top lane. Just blue team's a little bit, I don't know, they're struggling. They're doing well in their team fights. They have so much CC. I mean, they've got the Anubarak, the Diablo, and the Maiev as well to pull them right back. Morales to keep them up and Leeming with that poke from the back lines. But they're allowing red team to sort of make the decisions of when and where they fight, which I think is what's keeping them ahead at this stage.
Yeah, red team's really controlling it. They're halfway through that middle fort. They have the top fort. This next objective's coming up. Blue team's going to desperately try and get that level 16 before any fight occurs, but red team's going to do their best to defend it and then go down. Are there any standout performances for you so far in this game, Arja?
There's been a couple. Fukel's had some great zombie walls, which have allowed red team to get some great kills. Some good judgments from Tyrael. Also, the Morales has had quite a few good saves. Nitro's been really aggressive, sometimes a little bit too much so, but I think that's the way Maev's designed to be played. If you don't take a risk, you're not going to get anywhere. But for me, it's probably the Anubarak at this stage. He's had some awesome burrows and the, what's it called, his spines, the barbed
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's had some really great picks, and just the amount of damage he's soaked for his team. Had some really good escape.
Seeing a lot of back and forth in this fight. There has not been a single pick, and they've been battling for almost a middle here. A minute?
Yeah.
A minute. Sorry. BFG and we've got 3 deaths, all in the span of 2 seconds. Tyke is picking up 3 kills here. Lumia very low. Willow is hunting for him. But there are 2 other red team members there to back him up. Fukel providing that front line. He could be in trouble here.
He definitely could be. It's such a sticky place to fight down there with those conveyor belts. If you just get on the wrong one, then it can get a little bit disorientating. But I think that pick from BFG, he was just sticking on the Morales, and as soon as she was down, blue team just dropped.
Yeah, it was a great fight from red team. They really allowed Tychus to come in and bully them with that percentage damage, and of course he did a heap in while he was in the Odin. Lumia trying to steal this fortification camp out from under Blue's nose. They are going down to defend that fort, so he really needs to take it out as soon as possible.
Very risky, but paid off. There is the leaning. She almost looked like a Nova just then. I was like, wait, where's the Nova coming from?
Nitro doing a great job there of keeping the point occupied and in that overtime. So blue team had the chance to come in. Riptire taking out that Li Ming. We've got Nitro going hard on Andrew and the Diablo, but it's too tanky.
So brutal.
Yeah, Zeeb's taking out their Morales, so down their healer and their main damage dealer, so it might be a bit rough for blue team, and they might all drop here with red team taking that protector, and just they're going to be able to take it straight through that that bottom keep.
There's nothing keeping mid fort up either. That minion lane should be plenty. Fugel's actually going to go and just knock that over quickly. But that Warden's Cage with the Apocalypse looked very dangerous for a moment, but like you said, they're just a little bit too tanky.
Still got a bit of time, 20 seconds till the bulk of the blue team is back up. That Li Ming is back up now, but Fukel pushing through that middle lane as well, securing those 2 middle towers. They are going to get this bottom keep, and Fukel's going to do his best to do as much damage to that middle keep as possible. He still has a turret on him as well. And there he is, he's dropped it. It is tanking the keep. They've got the protector coming straight through again. Half health, 40 seconds to go on it. Still quite a long while. Willow disconnecting. He is straight back in though, it looks like.
Fine, cool.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, he DC'd and came back 2 seconds later. Ryan, copy a heap of poison damage there from that Zeeb. They're going for the triple keep. Ambitious, but look, they're 4 levels up. They've got the protector. They can definitely do it. They're really bullying the blue team here.
Protector has lasted so long, and they're getting a lot of value out of that. And red team's still very healthy. Tychus in that Odin, and Nazebo's a little bit low on mana, but he can still definitely get quite a bit of damage out. Unfortunately, Apocalypse missing red team. They just pushed right past it. Wool trying to get a bit more damage down and just repel red team, but it's a little bit too much momentum.
Yeah, it's really turned into quite a stomp. It was fairly even until like the level 13 or so mark. And,
yeah, they had a lot of good trades.
Reds just steamrolled. They've just taken every advantage handed to them. They've made their own opportunities, and I think they played a great later half of the game.
I think that's what it was. They sort of dictated the pace of the game, and like I said a bit earlier, just when they picked their fights. And blue team, it was surprising. They were a little bit passive, even though they had, not blue team, sorry, blue team. Even though they had that really strong front line of the Anub and Diablo. And of course Maev was being quite lethal as well in the early game. who was your standout for what you saw in the later stages?
Look, I love the Tychus. I love a good Tychus player. You don't really see them as much these days.
No.
Sorry, I'm just fixing up the
That's
scene.
okay. All good. Yeah, very good Tychus. Topped hero damage in the game. Only 2 deaths.
Oh, do you want to send your cam through again, by the way?
I can.
Yeah, look, I thought Lumiere played a great game as well. 0 deaths as well as Fukel. He had some excellent zombie walls. He really secured a bunch of those kills, 20 out of 25. Look, all of Red Team did a great job. I thought Andrew did a great job of healing the Red Team up. There were a few times where they dropped, but they just stayed in the fight, just because that's sustain provided by Andromeda on Stukov. And look, 83k heals compared to 54 on the Morales.
Yeah.
And obviously that
heal Morales.
yeah, it's not easy, but look, Red Team did a great job, especially with that Tyrael of diving in on the Morales. And look, Ryan died 7 times. I don't think he was incredibly out of position in those fights. They just dived him so hard that like Morales has no escape. So as soon as they get to him, he really has no hope unless his team can peel for him. And most of the time they'll kind of a bit distracted, I feel. But yeah, if you had to pick an MVP, who would you pick?
I agreed with every point you had there. I think the Tyrael and the Tychus comboed well together. Junk and Nazebo, they really sort of excelled at. I know Junkrat was holding bottom lane a lot and grabbing some of those support camps and things like that, and Nazebo just throwing out the damage. But I think Tychus and Stukov would probably be my top 2 picks for Red Team. And I think Tychus, just for that hero damage, and he had some great, just some great damage. And I think he's what sort of pushed Red Team towards victory. They all played very well together, but he had some awesome ults, and yeah, you don't see very many Tychuses, and he played it very well, so I'm happy to give it to Luck.
Yeah, let's give it to Luck. Happy with that. Let's go tell him.
Cool.
Well played, guys. We thought it was a pretty even match up to the level 13 or so mark, and then Red Team just ran away with the game, and it was some excellent plays. I feel bad for poor Ryan on Morales just getting pummeled by all his dive heroes. But yeah, we decided to give MVP to Locke. Thought he played an excellent game with Tychus. And he was in the right spot all the time. His team did a great job of providing that front line, that distraction, and he got the picks. Well done, Locke.
That double tank was very difficult to get to the back line though.
Yeah, I really liked the noob Diablo plays. Should have died so many more times than you did. There was one stage where the poison was on a noob, and then Morales was just like, nope, not today.
Alright, so
Let us see how strong your magic is, Pod. That was a really creepy one, Nakid.
yeah, no, I changed the resolution of the webcam so it like showed my hand and not my face.
Yeah.
So it didn't work out how I envisioned it, but anyway. Alright, let's go for it.
Battlefield of Eternity.
I'm disappointed so far, Pod.
Alright, Claymore first ban. Ladies first, of course.
Now, what do we know about blue team? We know they like their Genjis, they like their Falstads, they like their Bright Wings.
What does Blank play these days?
Falstad. Falstad and... Who else does he play?
Chromie lately. Bit of a
Chromie.
mixed bag. Yeah, lots of mages, it looks like.
I'm not too familiar with Burned Water. Is that Eternal adaptation?
Yes, yes it is. Another mage player. Mage specialist.
Which means Injo might be tanking for us. Maybe supported by Blank. And then Mav and I reckon Mav and Burnt will definitely be the damage dealers. Brightwing playing possibly a Brightwing.
Definitely a Brightwing. We haven't seen the Brightwing ban.
Oh, I hope they don't ban it.
Yeah, every Monday he's like, oh, I wasn't able to play Brightwing tonight. They banned me out.
Another Maiev pick. It gets through straight away.
I haven't played any ranked play in the last few weeks, so I've obviously shifted away from first ban Maiev.
It's still a good ban. I think with this though, it's a little bit more personal, and they're picking heroes that they just don't want to verse. Whereas Maiev in Hero League, and she's just a good pick because you don't want to verse her, and if you don't know who you're versing, it's a safe ban. Whereas you're unlikely to maybe see a Malfail. Greymane's always a good ban.
They're taking their time with this third pick. Rainer, the lane minion himself. He's rumored. It's rumored that he's getting rework. So.
Ah. About time, I suppose. Could be interesting.
Stukov ban. Look, I think he's quite good on this map, just from how many little nooks and crannies there are everywhere. You know, you get that lurking arm out, and it really blocks off a choke point completely. So if they're in it, they're silenced. If they're coming towards you, they have to run through it. It gives you a lot of options.
There are many bushes to hide in, and even just like standing on a wall, you can easily, while your team's fighting, just safely silence and still get back in time to get a couple of pustules off. I'm interested to see what blue team picks though. You can't just run a solo Leoric, so they will be getting another warrior of some sort.
It should be on
honestly,
Lost
Artanis is a good pick. He always goes to town on the Immortals, but I'm surprised we haven't seen Mav with like a Hanzo pick, especially on this map. Like, he was also supposed to be working on his Thrall. I remember this from last week. Still no Thrall from Mav. We'll see it one day.
Maybe he's hiding it. It is their week off.
Saving it. Yeah.
Yeah. The notifications are on Lost Pod. I'm not sure why they're not coming up unless Ag reset the link or something.
You broke the things.
It's definitely there. I'll send a test one.
Yes, there's the opted for Rhaegar over Brightwing. I think it's a good pick, especially with a couple of high health pool heroes like very Leoric should be able to get a couple of good ancestral healings off. At this stage, though, I think Red Team wins Immortal. Damage-wise, it'll be interesting to see what Alarak brings to the equation.
Yeah, look, if something's too hard or it's just not working, just blame Agamemnon. Works every time. He can take.
Yeah.
Prepare yourselves for battle, heroes.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this this triple warrior combo goes on the red team. I think they've went the first pick Artanis for the immortal damage.
Yeah.
And then they went 2 extra warriors for some reason. I really think they're gonna struggle with damage.
Was first pick Sonya, so
Oh, was it?
yeah.
Must have been second
so
pick Artanis.
I'm not too sure what happened there.
Oh, they're looking for a gank. Oh no, they're going for the gate.
Wow. Red team is coming up behind them though, so this could be really
There is no
dangerous.
retreat. Burnt Water is waiting for that pick. What is even happening here? They want that gate. Well, they're backing up well together, but they're all looking a bit low right now. Mav especially. Rhaegar dropping Mav on 140 health. Injo quite low. Blank also very low.
There we
He's
go.
next to drop, followed by Injo.
That was so risky.
The middle gate tactic really didn't pay off for them this time. You know, solid tactic, get straight to their core and take it out, but not today, not today.
I'm sorry, I've seen a hammer like by herself go and just sit on it, and that's been effective solely because you're in lane doing things with the whole team. Let's see some interesting strategies coming out here.
Yeah, we've got this 3v3 at bottom, 2v2 up top, fairly even lanes, but I think they're really going to struggle with that damage. They've got that healing up top, the Rhaegar, Murida's got his self-healing, or the passive healing, Claymore's got her own healing on attack, so they can kind of sustain themselves. I'm just a bit worried about their damage up there. Brightwing playing Rhaegar. No Brightwing today, unfortunately. Blank, second death of the game, 2 minutes in. What's
It's
going
the
on, mate?
Leoric, so it's not too big a deal because he does get up quite quickly. They're not actually too far behind. They're about a level behind, so that's quite punishing. But you never know. Not anything could happen. We'll see on First Immortal sort of how they choose to fight that, and that will sort of set the tone for the game.
Oh, thanks, Lost Pod. Yeah, it hasn't come up in the Streamlabs notifications, so that's probably why it didn't show up. So they're a level ahead already, 3 minutes in. It's Look, I'd like to say impressive on Red's part, but I don't think they did much to to do that. Blue just went too ham. Rhaegar taking out that Artanis is bringing Blue back into this game. Obviously, you get a good amount of XP when you kill the someone on the other team when they're a higher level.
Oh, quality is in a little bit of a tight spot, but it is Lucio. He can just glide away. Oh, unless there's a Maiev to bind him right back in. That's pretty lethal. It's a good, I know Lucio was picked after Maiev, but it's a good little way to make sure he doesn't get away.
Yeah.
If you can get the auto attack on him in the first place.
Yeah, well that's the thing. If you keep your distance, you can deny Maiev her combo, but of course the teleport's quite quick. The Avatar. Oh, good unstoppable there from Blank. I'm not sure it's going to be enough. He's completely out of mana, and that Lucio he's not going to get away from. Treacle doing a bit of soaking down bottom. They're still a level ahead. Blank about to come up in between them. Treacle quite low.
Yeah, but he just gets right back up with that passive, and the Lucio
Oh!
says,
Blank going hard, and he gets a pick with the Leoric. Goes into the towers. Half level behind now. Both teams pretty even. Blue team, their Immortals looking a little bit healthier. But look, it's still anyone's game.
Blank has taken the extended reach on that skeletal swing as well, so it's not going to be easy to slip past him. Enjoy very low. Meriden is mounting up to be able to chase, but Brightwing is healing Maiev right back up.
There's really two fights happening right now, and both of them 2v3s.
Very split.
Lasonia dropping. Mav very low on that variant, 40 health.
Yeah.
But Silic going for him.
Meriden.
It's almost like he didn't want it.
Yeah. He's like, it's okay.
Quality escaping that Blank combo. That red immortal does drop with 4.6k and change on that blue immortal, pushing through that top lane. No Merc camps were captured though, so we're not going to see any advantage from that that distraction of the immortal. But we'll see how a blue team handles this fight. There's only Varian here for that immortal spawn. They do have that Rainer there to do that bit of damage. Artanis on his way.
We have the team captains down bot Claymore versus Blank. It's a pretty even matchup for Leoric and Sonya. Both have decent sustain. Yeah.
How you going, Beefy? So that immortal gets to that fort, but not too much damage to it. Those ranged minions are actually still wailing away on it. It does get down to half health. It does more damage than the actual immortal did. This fight, again, is a little bit split. We've got the tanks kind of splitting off, and then the rest of the team focus on the tank. So I think there's a bit of a focus issue on both of these teams. They just need to prioritize their targets a little differently. That Artanis does drop. In saying that though, to be fair to blue team, red team does have 3 warriors.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Just came for a bit of Monday night casting. So pretty even on the XP front. It's 5 kills to 6. Red team just about to hit level 9. Blue team wants that top camp. Mav providing a good ward in that bush there.
Blank trying to steal this bottom seat from Claymore.
A bit rough.
This is not
Claymore
good.
is going to drop, I think.
No, look at
Oh
this.
no!
She is
Oh! Wow.
that is devastating. That'll
That was
be
very close.
heartbreaking for Claymore. She was so close to capping it as well.
Yeah, and Blank was almost down, and then he popped the life drain again.
Yeah, it was amazing though. Like Claymore was looking like she was going to get him down. I think it was just baiting her a little bit and had that life drain on backup.
Yeah, look, it wasn't much. It really could have gone either way. Both Immortals coming up again. Only that the top and bottom camp, those Khazra camps coming up from the blue side. Blank looks like he is going to drop here. No, they're not going to chase it. But blue team, while that Merc camp's distracted bottom, they have taken out half of red team's Immortals. So red team really need to defend this up right now. Both teams have their heroics. We've got the Leoric ult coming out, Maiev coming in. Lots of swaps coming through as well. Botsilic in the back.
Arcana still has his Purifier beam up.
Yeah, it's interesting gameplay when you have 3 warriors because they don't typically fill the same role as they usually would. So red team getting 2 picks here, that's pretty big for them because they were a bit behind before. But Blank dropping 2 quality there. He was a bit arrogant. Sticking around. Mav is going to drop as well. That protects saving him briefly, but it is not enough. But yeah, that was a great play from red team. They're back into this objective. That health on both Immortals looking pretty similar. This could be a red Immortal. Much closer than the other one.
I'm a bit worried
Is in
with
trouble
Burn
here.
There,
Oh,
You
Slasher
take out
is in
Alicia.
trouble.
but yeah, Tana's
A
dropped
great
as well.
entomb there from Leoric. Thank you for the host, Coffee. Claymore going ham is quite low, but the healing not enough to mitigate that damage of 3 other heroes. We've got that Immortal coming through bottom. Mav trying his best to defend. But it looks like blue team's going to take this opportunity to secure that top fort. Look, I don't blame him. That Immortal's almost full health. They are going to drop that bottom fort anyway. So it's the best of a bad situation.
Raynor is still looking to finish his season's marksman quest, and Alarak not quite finishing his Chaos Reigns.
Demon's attack has failed. Yet
So Blank quite low against Quality once again. He's playing quite an aggressive Lucio this game. Both teams backing up, not showing on the map, getting to see some of these Merc camps. No one has touched the Fallen camps yet. They're the most overpowered camp in the entire game, and they have not done.
Mm-hmm. Recently, you've been seeing teams capping it as the Immortals spawn,
Yeah.
more even as during that first phase, and then it forces the team to go and defend, and then second phase you just burn the Immortal down, but no one's taken that opportunity just yet. But we've seen pretty split fights over Immortals so far. It's sort of been, like you said, the 2v3s, and it's just been all over the place. There's not really a chance to go for that.
So both teams level 13. That blue team pushing hard on that bottom fort. They get a bit of damage in there. They're doing well at really chipping away at red team's buildings. They are going for the Chinese bush meta gank here with that. They're all hiding that bush, but red team is rotating up. Looks like they're gonna go to that fallen shaman camp. So blue team coming in here. Muradin could be in trouble. He's on his own right now. Red team not sure what to do. They're running back and forth. He does manage to leap out. We do have a taunt coming in from the Varian. The bloodlust popping from Rhaegar, and Sonya does die. Blank looking very low here on that Leoric. He's trying to heal up. Brightwing, sorry, not Brightwing, Rhaegar being taken out by Reyna.
Very nice focus. He saw an opportunity, and they were sort of focusing the Leoric for a little bit, but Rhaegar was dropping quite low as well, and they just had to switch their focus and drop him first.
Injo is incredibly low.
Quality, again, just slippery Lucio. He can still do damage, and he can stop you from getting away.
Yep.
That's
He
2
got
kills
blank.
for quality.
Burnt water getting away there. Red team has free reign on this Immortal.
Oh, that lightning on Treacle was devastating from Burnt Water. I'm not too familiar with Alarak, but Lightning Surge, I believe it was, just zapped the life out of him.
Yeah, it's got quite a large range, so you really have to be careful. It can chip away. Quite a low cooldown as well. Blank coming in, trying to distract them from doing anything else, but he is going to pay for it potentially. He has entombed the wrong direction. I think he was trying to block them off there, but unfortunately it was unsuccessful. Rhaegar also dropping to Reyna, who said he needs a rework. He's getting all the picks, and Lucia finishing the quest. Reyna with a quad kill so far. Red team running with it. They are a level up, and look, this might be a full health Immortal, almost.
Just need to get the Artanis on it, and that will drop quite quickly.
Yeah, Blank is on that Immortal, but unfortunately Leoric is probably one of the worst heroes to really do Immortal damage. Attack's a little too slow. But Muradin is in very deep here, so he needs to be careful. Burnt Water's still hanging around there, and he can see him in lane. No camp picked up during that.
No, not this time, but maybe we'll see one on next Immortal. It's very hard for Botsilic to be concerned with that larger health pool. Yep. He's got the third wind and also the healing static, so he's not too concerned.
Treacle in trouble up the back. Varian going hard on him. Unfortunately, it's not enough. Inter looking very low on Maiev. He's thrown a avatar. Rhaegar dropping to that Hyperion from Reyna. Artanis also getting the Leoric. Varian also dropping to Reyna. A bit of payback there for Treacle. And Botsilic throwing the stun. Injo dodging it at the last split second. And that Immortal still with a fairly decent shield is coming through that top lane. They've got those 2 towers down. The Maiev drops, and they are going to get this keep and potentially the game at this point, because the blue team is 4 down. They're really kind of trickling in at this stage. So they just need to back off. They will be back up soon, but they're just they're staggering their death.
Muradin's been forced to leap over that wall, but they still have quite a bit of momentum. But it's probably a wiser decision to slowly start backing off. Blue team is up in 7 seconds with their full strength.
Artanis dropping there. That core is very low. 24%.
It makes you wonder if they'd stayed. They probably would have been able to.
I reckon they could have. They had the 2 warriors and the Reyna, and he's
First Shaman camp?
Yeah. First Shaman camp of the game, 17 minutes in. I think it's a bit of a waste, honestly, at this point. They need to defend that top lane. Those catapults are going to be coming through, so the Khazra camp is really good to defend that. It's more of a defensive measure rather than a distraction. Treacle is in trouble here. He is blocked by the Entomb, and Varian had him haunted. Maiev putting that Volatile Wardens up. We've got the Bloodlust coming through from Rhaegar. They're fighting on top of that fort, though. They do have the Fallen Shaman. So.
That was the perfect activation on that Avatar, I think. If he'd done it any later, he may have taken a little bit too much damage, and he's right back up full health.
Yeah, he's got almost 6k health. It's quite a decent chunk. Injo, he's doing very well this game of dodging a heap of damage. He's doing that trait quite well on Maiev. Slasher could be getting him there though, despite his entire team being there. Botsilic coming in, but it's not enough. Artanis does drop. He's just he's baiting them to come in, really. Maiev is such a great hero to dodge abilities and make people underestimate you, especially when you're on low health. There are cadders coming through that top lane.
I've felt trouble for red team so far. They've sort of gotten caught out a few times trying to secure that. And the models are right back up. That's very quick. Treacle is going for their shamans, which I think is a good idea, especially
Yeah,
on
they are
first
2
phase.
down. While Botsilic is distracting them. But they have leashed that fallen shaman camp, so unfortunately that effort's a little bit wasted. Treacle taking a lot of damage there. We've got the I'm just not quite sure what to do. You can see phase 2 coming through with the Immortals very soon. Red team about to hit level 20, get those storm talents.
I think that's what they're waiting for. And on second phase with those storm talents, and
They've got everyone up, 2 catters pushing through top. If they can engage them in a fight now, they could win with Winions. Botsilic popping Avatar, he's coming in. Rhaegar taking a heap of damage, he's stunned in. We've got the Entomb coming through, blocking Rhaegar, his own teammate. There's lots of lockdown coming through from the blue team, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Slasher on that Immortal, not helping his teammates, but I don't think it matters. They have 2 down on the blue side, 3 down now, 4 down, and
bided their time until they hit those storm talents, and that was devastating.
And here they are, going for the end. Injo's going to defend against the catapults, but he is going to drop here. What a great game.
Oh, that's awesome, yeah.
So, if you had to pick an MVP, Ardra, who would you pick?
Look, I don't think that Reynold needs any changes to the way Treacle played him, and he definitely gets my MVP. I know he had 3 warriors and an awesome healer to support him, but for me, it's definitely the Reynold. That's some really good picks.
I was a bit worried at the start with that the 3 warriors. I thought they would lack a bit of damage, but look, Treacle showed me wrong, and they really showed blue team up.
His focus on the Rhaegar was pretty devastating. That was an awesome game, though. I mean, that fight between Leoric and Sonya in the bottom siege camp.
Yeah, on that Merc
My heart.
capture.
Yeah, there was some interesting fights, some strange splits, and some really good picks on both sides. But I think Red Team just worked so well together. Even at the end, they just waited for their storm talents, and they could have easily just trickled in trying to delay blue team, but they knew all they needed to do to win was hit that 20 and go get a pick, and yeah, very well played.
Yeah, look, I think Quality played a great Lucio. He helped a heap with the speed boost, and blue team missed a lot of kills just because of that Lucio being annoying. He's been very aggressive too, getting a lot of picks, especially on the Varian and Leoric. They were kind of underestimating him a bit. And yeah, the triple front line for the Reyna was it worked out surprisingly well.
Yeah.
Shout out to Blank, top siege damage, hero damage, damage taken, and XP contribution on his team. So very well done there. He was definitely putting in the work, but unfortunately, Red Team took this one. Look, I'm happy to give it to Treacle. I think he played a fantastic game. Jump up.
We were doing well. I will do super well.
I probably stuffed something up Nakid, so...
No, it's all good.
Okay.
Did Blank force you onto the tournament draft?
I don't know. I'm not used to making those choices. Tournament drafts, no biggie though. It's just we can't see the players' rep,
Yeah, yeah.
and they can't see who's picking who.
Well, it's the
Makes it a
same
little
view
bit-
for them, but they can swap at the end. But we can't see the names either.
Yeah, cool. That's fine. Just makes our job a little bit harder. After span, so maybe seeing a grey man for blue side. Ah, grey man banned.
Need a light.
None shall flee my grasp.
Blaze pick coming out for blue team,
Grant us strength.
and Mayav Mouth combo. She's been a very popular pick tonight, and she has been very effective and played quite well by Nitro, and who had her in the first lobby we had. Can't quite remember, which is terrible, but it's always fun to see a Mayav game.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back. Will we see a Tyrael with the Blaze pick?
I don't know.
I like that combo.
I do have Nitro, so yeah. They've
Not too bad, possibly.
denial pick with the Mayev on red team.
Ah, Tyrael! Makes me happy. Thank you, whoever is. I got so
Stuco.
excited I stopped breathing.
I think we'll see Obscene on Malfurion.
Yeah. I love watching Malf Stukov matchups as well. It's nice having the Stukov silence with the Tyrael and Blaze because they can afford to dive in and just put that silence down, and they can even just safely fight over it because if they get sort of counter-attacked or pushed back, it's straight into that silence, which sort of gives them an area of protected space to play in.
Yeah, I'm liking Blue's lineup so far. Red team deliberating this ban. They've got their healer, they've got their warriors, so it's only assassin specialists I'll be getting rid of. Lim coming. Hovering the ETC ban, we've got that coming through. So red team is without a tank so far, so they obviously didn't want to deal with
pretty
that.
tough.
Both Tyrael and Blaze don't really have a good option to interrupt that mosh. Stukov does, but look, you don't want to depend on 10 or so second cooldown every time
No.
and have only one interrupt on your team for it.
So what could we potentially see with the Mayav Malfurion? I mean,
Look,
Joe's a safe pick.
Yeah, Joe's good. Muradin's always a good choice. You really can't go wrong with him. He's got so much health and a stun, and an escape to boot. They've picked up the Jaina right now, so they're gonna try and lock people into Mayav's ult and try and burst them down inside that. I think. So we might see even a double warrior combo to protect that Jaina. Diablo.
Yeah.
Very solid pick.
Yeah, we saw that Warden's Cage and the Apocalypse was quite dangerous. So I do like that, especially with the Malfruit. There's not many avenues of escape. I do think we're going to see potentially a Li Ming on blue side.
No, they've banned Li Ming out.
Of course, Nitrocell.
Yeah.
Always.
Nitro on the
He does
KT.
play Li Ming, but his Calphazard is, it's beautiful to watch.
And the Zeebs. It's a great Zeebs map, as Pointy will tell you.
It is the Tomb of the Spider King.
Spider King.
Yes. Even though I prefer Toadfield, so.
It's that face of Nazebo. It's so
Look at it.
creepy with that
For some
close
reason,
up.
it reminds me of Pointy, and that's no, like, not saying anything. It's
Hey,
just
clip that chat.
play.
Clip that.
That skit.
Tracer coming through.
It's a really good pick, actually. I'm not too sure where she's going to have the opportunity. She does have that higher health pool, bit better auto attacks, but her pulse bomb has been nerfed a little bit, and her rewind recall.
They've increased the scaling on it, I'm pretty sure, but they've nerfed that early game damage of it because it was pretty devastating in the first few
Has to
levels.
stick around a bit longer
Yeah.
and escape a little bit slower. Or less frequently, essentially. That Tracer into a Stukov, though, is a bit of a worry, especially if Kel'Thuzad gets his root on her, or even a good blaze charge into... Yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll see who blue team focuses. They've got some juicy targets between that Malfurion, Jaina, and Tracer.
Yeah, I think Jaina's the best pick if they can get onto her, or the Malfurion. But the Maiev and Tracer will be a bit more slippery.
Yeah, we did think we'd be seeing another tank on the red side, but they had very limited choices beyond sort of going a Sonya or even a Diva. They had Leoric, but not many choices. I think blue team sort of got the pick of the bunch with the blaze and the Tyrael.
4, 3, 2, 1. Let's the battle.
Both teams coming into mid for this 5v5 brawl. Red team's a bit strung out though, so Pingu making that first move on Maiev. Oh, great route there from Nitro. Philly taking a lot of damage there on Jaina. Red team looking to split up now. They've oh no, Pingu coming back around. He's eager. He's eager for a pick. They're really focusing on Philly though, and Tracer's going to top, Fukel down to bottom. Blank is in trouble here. He's been rooted. Great route there from my value. I thought it would be obscene on Malfurion. It wasn't.
Obscene does like his Tracer. He plays a pretty good Tracer. The Nazebo has gone for the Toad build. Stukov taking that increased area on the growing infestation. And pretty standard otherwise. Jaina opting for the lingering chill. But other than that, pretty standard. Justice roll with the Tyrael, which will give his team the shields they need when they engage.
There's a great route there from my value. Unfortunately, I didn't get the pick, but I missed the Jaina pick off in middle. Obscene has been taking out that top tower, being a bit cheeky on the Tracer.
Nitro coming down onto the Malfurion. I blue
Yeah,
is
I
safe.
value very, very close to death, but he is behind that gate.
Obscene with a nice pick on the Mazebo.
Keep missing these picks, they're doing it too quick.
Quite a few gems there, yeah.
So red team almost half a level in front here. It's not too far, not much in it. They are doing that that 4-man rotation though from top to middle lane. Nitro could be in trouble here. It's been picked up by that Diablo straight into the root. Great pick off there. Burnt water taking quite a bit of damage there on Tyrael, but it's not enough. Red team's just trying to broaden their lead right now. They're not playing hyper aggressive, but they are trying to get those picks.
There's quite a few gems on both sides. Blue team with 30 and red team with... They've already handed in 5, so 27 gems. It's pretty even, but they're not really risking hand-ins at this stage, just opting to get some soak instead.
Yeah, red team's just kind of edging ahead. They're almost a full level ahead now. They just keep soaking that XP. Blank taking a bit of damage there from that Tracer. Still got this 3v3 happening in middle. And Fukel looking very low against Philly down bottom, but she does have no mana. Pingu going in hard. We've got the silence coming out as well as the root, but Zeebs drops to the Diablo charge. Nitro is trying desperately to get away here. Pingu trying to get a hit on, but can't quite make it. Takes a few tower shots there and down to half health. Tracer getting 16 in. They almost have enough on both sides of the map. Nitro is in big trouble here. He has been picked up, but no, they slow them down enough to get him away. Great backup there from blue team.
Blue team does have enough for hand in, but...
Yeah, they are handing in that top hand in. They had the full 50. Burnt water was 17, so red team now has time to come up because Tracer pulled them off that hand in. Both teams do have enough.
Fukel is a little bit low facing the Janum of Furion. He does have a bit of self-sustain, so he'll be fine. Be able to push that lane back, and looks like all the action is moving back to top lane.
Great pick off there on the KT. Blank could be in trouble here, looking fairly low amongst that red team. 4 from there, they get the pick. Blue team is 10 off. They got a hand in at bottom from Fukel.
Jonah
Philly
just
not able to get there.
grabbed on it.
Tall dude, I think it's the if one of the teams has a talent advantage, it will come up with that fire effect on the level. It might just be this the observer UI.
Red team has managed to sneak in their gems just a bit before blue team. It's very close. They were only about 10 gems off.
Yeah, they will have to be careful when these web weavers drop off, that they watch those hand-ins, because there's really not much in it.
No. And that slightly later web weavers might actually work to blue's advantage, depending on what happens in the next minute or so.
Yeah, Blank is in big trouble here. There was a root blocking that gate. Great placement there from my value. Then Pingu pulled him back, and they secured that kill. Red team with that ultimate advantage, of course, the fire on the 10 there. Getting some good push.
He was in trouble, but not really. Nitro is pretty scary. Whenever I see him get his chains onto someone, but obviously our value is not close enough to anything to get stuck down.
They do get one fort. They're at 2.5 level advantage right now, so they're sitting pretty. They just need to not make too many mistakes because blue team can really come back quite easily. Philly almost landing that root on Fukel. That entire wave of minions is hitting him, but it might not be enough. She's taking quite a bit of damage, but her team is coming down. She jukes him, and she has the support of the rest of the red team now. They are all coming down. She needs to get out of there. Fukel dropping to that Tracer Pulse Bomb. Very well played there from Philly and the red team.
Tyrael is getting hand in up top lane, so that will be web weavers in blue team's favour.
Red team is trying to push through this bottom fort right now. They're going hard, try and get those web weavers spawning a bit further towards the blue base than the red. Of course, they lose health as they move down the lane.
Pingu's just biding his time behind that wall, waiting for an unsuspecting Kelsey-Sard, someone just to walk that little bit closer.
Oh, big play there from Nitro on Kel'Thuzad. That was a great pick-off, great ultimate, and it landed perfect. So it's a 4v2 on this top lane defense. So red team's going to struggle a bit here. They're definitely going to lose that fort. Mid is pushing by itself. Get some good value out of that, and Fukel and Pingu are going hard at it down on bottom lane. Have there been any standout players for you so far in this match, Archer?
There's been a couple. I think the Tracer and Malf have had some really good plays. Philly's been doing quite well as well, but I think Nitro and the Kel'Thuzad is just starting to pop off, and Imperial's been pretty good as well. Blaze, Fugel's presence down bot lane has been very constant, and that's getting them back into the XP. They were behind. It's not so much a standout, I think. It's been a couple of good plays, but I am interested to see how it goes.
Yeah, two red team getting picked off there. Diablo's stacks being reset. And Tall, we did think it was Fuckle to start with. We did have to get confirmation of how you say his name. You don't always know. But yeah, it is Fukel. Nitro trying to get a hand in there. Blue team does have enough. That root does connect from Philly, but there is no follow-up, unfortunately.
Desperate to get those gems in and deny another hand in for blue team, but they don't quite have enough gems just yet for that to be enough to stop another blue web weaver descending.
Yeah, Burnt Water getting that hand in. Yeah, Treacle very low, so they don't have a tank in there. And it looks like Burnt Water's going to take him out.
Had an awesome pick on the Kel'Thuzad, just punishing their backline. Unfortunately, the Tyrael and the Blaze were a little bit too far out to the front, which is just allowing.
That's a triple for Obscene.
Yeah, just going to town.
I have to say, it was a great charge from the Diablo onto the Blaze there, saving Jaina's life. And they were able to back off from that. And this does give them time to destroy these web weavers. They do get the bottom fort, but I don't think they're going to get much value apart from that. That's about the extent of it. Blue team does need to be careful in this top lane. They have almost caught up in levels. They've done well, but they need to not get too cocky and start making mistakes. Oh, they're going hard on Burnt Water down in this bottom lane. The Sanctification coming out. We've got the combo coming in from Nitro. They get the Jaina. Burnt Water also drops on the Tyrael. That bomb's going to come through. The Apocalypse from Diablo comes through. The bunker from Blaze as well. Pingu dropping. Treeful getting blocked. He was rooted there as well. 200 health. He gets through the gate and to safety. He was walking back in there and I wasn't sure what he was doing.
Yeah.
It was a great pick from Blue Team, and they're back to talent and level parity.
Yes.
That was a great
and they
ice
get the
block
super
from my
health.
value, but unfortunately it wasn't enough.
They're really starting to punish Red Team.
Yeah, they've really come back, and with the level 16, of course, they get the big power spike. People are going to be dying a lot quicker. Treacle very low there, just gets away once again. The
Oh, nice pick on the Calphazards. There's a lot of damage on Red Team's side. I just worry that they don't have the front line to deal with some of the things Blue Team are throwing their way, especially with all of that damage from the Nazis. And I mean, we did manage to get onto their backline, and the Blaze and Tyrael are so focused on being a strong front line, and they're doing an excellent job of it. But sometimes, when you're keeping your eyes on what's in front of you, you miss what's happening behind. I think
Sorry,
that's
my
the
mic
tactic
just
that's
disconnected
going to work for Ed. That's so good.
Oh, he's jumped straight up into that zombie wall, but he does get away. They've got the root coming through from the Malfury. It's really anyone's game now. They're both level 17. Blue's even ahead in XP now, so they've done very well. They're doing very well picking off for Jaina, because that's where a lot of Red's damage is coming from. Trico copying that ult, but Diablo with so much health, it doesn't really phase them too much. Red team trying desperately to get out of here, but Fukel in deep on the red team, gets the pick on the Diablo. The root comes through on the Tracer and they get the pick. Those web weavers are going to stall a push though, so red team is safe for now, but they've got those Catters and Siege Minions pushing through that bottom lane.
Pretty intimidating show from Blue Team so far.
Yeah, looks like they're going to go for a boss play here. They're straight onto it after that last web weaver died. Red team is in no condition to force blue team off this boss right now, and they know it. They know it. Pingu trying to get those bottom bruises so they can not worry about that bottom lane while those Catters are pushing through. They secure that boss, so it'll be interesting to see what blue team does now. They're 10 off a hand in, but it looks like they're just going to go ham on that top lane.
Keeping my eye on that, so even if they back off this, the gems they should get while fighting this. If they manage to walk out alive, they'll get another hand in.
KT getting the pick on the mouth with the ultimate. Maiev dropping. Red team is in trouble here. They've got this boss coming through. 2 down. Soon to be 3. Jaina dropping. Diablo dropping. Tracer is the only one remaining. That's very rough. Look, props to the blue team. I didn't see that big a comeback coming out. But look, red team is in no position to defend this. They've got a single Tracer. Mouth comes up in 10. It's not enough. It's game over.
Yeah, that was really well played by blue team. Red team had a really strong early game, but I think Diablo did a very good job. He had some great charges and overpower. He threw some people around and it was great, but some good apocalypses as well. But he would hit that and then the bunker would after, and any damage after that, which would have maybe secured a kill on blue team, was nullified. So I think the Tracer and Jaina did have a tough time trying to get a pick, especially with that really strong front line. Who did you like this game, Nakid?
Oh, it's tough because both teams were winning at various points of the game. Obviously, red team for the vast majority of it, but they kind of lost that momentum. They had that 2.5, almost 3 level lead, and they kind of didn't use it to its full potential. And I think blue team had some very well timed hand-ins, which really in the game and allowed them to have that massive comeback. Look, I would like to say Nitro on KT did an excellent job. I think he was a big part of that comeback. He died 5 times, but he changed some really big combos and he made some really big picks that really turned the tide of those fights. Obscene did a great job as well. He was harrying the blue team backline. At one point he got a triple or quad kill. Saw some great roots from value. Pretty similar healing for both teams. Oh, so tough.
Yeah, I just thought Tyrael had some really good play, especially that bottom fight that we had. He was so low and his team just came and backed him up, so that's also on his team, but they managed to get that pick on the Jaina and then the Malfurion, I think it was. But yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, Philly was copying it a bit there.
She was. And that's no fault of hers, the focus is just really strong. I would actually really like to give it to Obscene, but...
Okay, well we can split it. Because I think both teams played so well.
Yeah.
And yeah, they both did such a great job. Alright, we'll give it to both.
Okay. Everyone win.
Outside.
Hello.
Who do
Got
we want
9.
to MVP to for our game?